Hello everyone, my name's Chris, and I'm another Genshin Impact player, but not like anyone else. So, Zhongli's banner is finally out a few days ago. And like some of us, he wasn't home. So, pulling for him was a must, since he is the best shield giver, technically, in the entire game. And just in case you still did not decide whether you wanna pull for him or not, I suggest you please do, because my playstyle has not been any easier than now, after he came home. Anyway, today's video is about Zhongli, his playstyle, a general guide, and the best unusual builds for him. So, if you're interested, please watch the video fully, and consider subscribing if you like the content. And now, let's jump into it. Being the Geo Archon, the most handsome character in my opinion, the calmest, and the best contract maker, Zhongli's playstyle is ought to be smart, though being surrounded by enemies shall not threaten you. Therefore, you need to be as calm as you can, while choosing your next move. Let me show you what I mean by this clip. Zhongli's basic attacks have 6 steps, as you will see. The first attack is like stretching his arm wide with the weapon in his hand. If you noticed, this is a very offensive and direct step. The second attack is almost the opposite direction of the first one. Here, Zhongli is getting ready in a defensive manner to hit his opponent, because the third attack is actually putting his arm strength and pushing the opponent away. The next step is Zhongli's throwing his weapon down on earth in a fast way, giving a signal for his enemy to watch for what's coming. Then he just kicks his weapon until it rolls out, only to catch it after, and with this catch, the steps are repeated. His playstyle is all about threatening and pushing his opponents away, while escaping their attacks. So, having this in mind, you are to time your charged attack directly after his fourth step. I'll show you that, so you can get what I mean. Here, as you can see, my aim is to do 4 hits, then escape their attack with my charged hit. Then, I can just keep repeating what I did, to always evade their hits. Now, this is for the basic attacks. Let's move to his skill. His skill creates a stone steely, which can cause damage, as well as giving you a shield, if you hold press it. As you can see, it also generates radiance around it, which will cause damage over time. Now if you have his first constellation, you can create 2 stone steelies. My suggestion is to always start your fight with placing them near your opponents. Also, those steelies form as a way of attracting or pulling your enemies towards them. Then after doing that, you do the 4 hits, then a charged attack, as I showed you already. Now to his burst. His burst is what makes Zhongli one of the best characters for a massive damage, if he was built as a DPS, throwing, literally, the whole universe in disguise on his enemies. They will be left unable to move for a short time. At this time, you can just switch to your main DPS, where their skills do more damage than your Zhongli's. Therefore, if you want my suggestion, time your burst in a way that you are surrounded by most of your enemies. Now, after talking about Zhongli's moves, let's move to the general guide. As it was said before, Zhongli's main role is a shield giver. Most shields protect you from attacks and from CC, or crowd control, so he is best used with DPS that are squishy, and are easy to be interrupted, such as Xiao, Hu Tao, and Ganyu. They are just gonna shine with Zhongli in your team. So as a general guide, put Zhongli in a team where your main DPS is suffering from CC, and is weak. Now, finally, to the unusual builds. Excluding him as a sub DPS, or as a support, I suggest you to try a hybrid build of Zhongli. His shield will be just enough for your needs in team fighting, yet with massive and cool playstyle, and causing as much damage as possible. For that, you can go with 4 pieces of Emblem of Severed Fate, or 4 pieces of Echoes of an Offering. For the first option, you can just spam your burst, every some seconds, so your goal is to petrify your opponents, so your main DPS will have his time in killing them. And for the second option, you can use it if you want to go with physical kind of build of Zhongli. This build will ensure that you won't need your main DPS as often, so you can just cause damage until your main DPS recharges their burst again. It's totally up to you to choose what you really like. But be sure that you learn about Zhongli's playstyle and usage, so you can decide for yourself. With that, I hope that this video covered some good points that you can start applying and thinking of. Please consider leaving a like and a comment, and be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Until next time.